Starting things off with Drew McIntyre and his now fascinating story direction. Everyone figured that after being screwed and embarrassed in Scotland with a world title being on the line for the second time in a row, that Drew McIntyre would act out in a drastic way, which he absolutely did, and maybe even exceeded some of the expectations for how he would react. Following the events of Clash at the Castle, WWE advertised that Drew McIntyre would address the universe. Drew's promo ended by barely being a few seconds long and only consisted of him saying, "Screw this company," and quitting on the spot and live in the middle of the ring. Drew McIntyre walked up the ramp and Adam Pearce was there waiting for him, trying to reason with Drew for him not to quit. WWE even showed that Triple H approached Drew McIntyre backstage to try to talk some sense into him, but Drew wasn't having any of it and was standing his ground on quitting. Drew went even further and temporarily deactivated all of his social media platforms after he left the building. That action itself is pretty iconic and significant because Drew McIntyre literally just won the Slammy Award a few months back for being the social media star of the year. Drew has been well known in recent months to be one of the biggest trolls and meme posters out of the entire WWE locker room. He would respond to fans' tweets, superstars' tweets, all different types of posts, and poke fun at people. But now he had enough that he shut everything down. Drew was cracking jokes on social media the whole time over the last few months of feuding with CM Punk. But now he's reached that breaking point where he doesn't even want to be on social media anymore. Obviously, it goes without saying that this is just a storyline related matter. Drew McIntyre didn't actually quit the company in real life. But within the storyline world, Drew McIntyre did quit and walked out. Usually when WWE does a storyline angle of someone quitting the company or even being suspended, it usually doesn't last that long. That superstar is usually back on WWE television within a week or two, tops. The most recent example of that was just last summer when Jey Uso quit the WWE. Jey was only gone for 2 to 3 weeks before being brought back to television. So judging by that history of how WWE runs that sort of angle, we can expect Drew McIntyre to miss the same amount of time. It can be only 1 week long, or possibly head into 2 to 3 weeks window, but definitely not anything longer than that. Even though Drew McIntyre is legitimately enraged with what happened at Clash at the Castle, it's also possible that this is an act of quitting that WWE could be setting up another way for Drew McIntyre to poke fun at CM Punk's past. CM Punk quit the WWE and walked out on them back in 2014, and when he returned 9 years later, CM Punk's return was a huge deal, and he was given lots of privileges and praise. So, knowing that information, you can basically already see and predict how Drew McIntyre may be setting some of his punchlines up here towards CM Punk once he's back. Maybe Drew will mention how it didn't take him 9 years to return to WWE after quitting, but how he wants all the praise and treatment CM Punk received after he came back from quitting the company. Drew McIntyre's character absolutely seems like he'll throw some sort of those CM Punk related quitting jabs once he appears again. It's hard to sympathize with Drew McIntyre's character since he basically did bring this all upon himself by attacking CM Punk back in January in the first place. But looking at things through Drew's perspective and his character's eyes, it is pretty insane that he was both in Clash at the Castle main events, both being big world title matches. Both matches got ruined by outside interference, and the company takes no action towards the individuals that ruined their big main event. No punishment was ever placed on Solo Sikoa, and now nothing appears to be done towards CM Punk. So, from that perspective, maybe that explains the entire "screw this company" aspect of this promo. CM Punk is still set to appear on upcoming editions of Raw and Smackdown, and that rumor has been that he's cleared by July at the earliest. So, it's safe to assume that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre are still on for this year's SummerSlam. We'll just have to see how Drew McIntyre will be brought back into the story after quitting on Raw. As we now quickly head into the month of July, it looks like we're officially starting to get some crumb-sized teases hinting at Roman Reigns' return. Fans noticed this week that Roman Reigns quietly unfollowed Solo Sikoa on Instagram, and it's something that turns out is true. Roman used to follow Solo Sikoa on Instagram this whole entire time, but just recently, this was no longer the case. It was a quiet move. Roman didn't publicly announce to the world that he unfollowed Solo Sikoa, but it was just a gesture that he quietly did that fans picked up on. And despite it being a quiet move, it's still a very significant move that speaks volumes. Roman unfollowing Solo is basically confirmation that everything Solo's been saying about being in communication with Roman and having him approve everything ahead of time is nothing more than a complete lie. It's a scary little chess move that could serve as a warning to Solo Sikoa that Roman will be gunning for him hard when he's back. The Bloodline story is always amazing, so many layers to it, but this current lack of communication between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman does seem very weird and almost seems like a big plot hole. It looks like the idea that they're getting at with Roman is that he's been on this private retreat where he cut off communication with everyone and has gone fully dark, which makes sense if that was the case. But then they had Solo Sikoa lying and saying he's been talking to Roman this entire time, and Paul Heyman, who's supposed to be one of the smartest characters in all of WWE, just instantly buys Solo's lies without even getting suspicious of it or questioning it at all. And now, with this action of Roman unfollowing Solo, that basically confirms that Roman has some sort of knowledge about what's going on. And if that's the case, why can't Roman shoot Paul Heyman a quick text or quick phone call, like they always used to do, just to inform him that Solo's lying about everything? Just seems so weird for Roman to unfollow Solo and acknowledge what's been happening to the Bloodline, but he continues to leave Paul Heyman in the dark. Seems like a massive plot hole, but it's a plot hole that can be easily resolved though. If it's later revealed that Roman and Heyman have been quietly in communication with each other this entire time, and Roman had Heyman stay there close to Solo as an informant for what's going on, then that's absolutely perfect and covers up that plot hole. It's just weird that Roman hasn't even reached out to Heyman in any way, and it's weird that Heyman just takes Solo's word as gold. So again, hopefully there's some big twist coming that fixes that hole up and reveals that Heyman and Roman were working Solo Sikoa the entire time, when Solo thought he was the one working them. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.